Hey guys, how's it going and welcome back. So we're taking a look today at the BC Rich Platinum Series. This guitar belongs to my buddy Andre. And I'm just looking on the back plate here, see if there's any real info. Just a serial number. But it appears it's got coil splitting pickups. You do have a 5-way switch. And of course one volume for master and one master tone knob. And you've got this little switch that actually cuts the power back a bit. Kind of thins things out. Now I'm not sure if that's just to put the bridge by itself as a single. It could be, because there is that reduction and it thins out. Don't know much about this guitar. Couldn't really find much on it. However, let's go with what we know about it. Definitely gotta clean the switch. That switch only takes effect on the humbucker, so it's obviously it's going to split the humbucker from a humbucker to a single. So basically we've got humbucker, and then we got single, and then we would have two single, or we'd have humbucker and single. Then of course we'd have middle position for middle, and then middle neck, and of course a straight neck. So very interesting configuration, great for a variety of tones. Don't have any push-pull tapping capability. It's all within the 5-way switch and this little switch, and that's pretty cool setup. Now you guys got to realize by now I do primarily play left-handed, so I do tend to still embarrass myself playing right-handed, right? Hopefully you know that. So I'm doing what I can with it. So the pickups do sound very nice and clean. I do like the tone out of them. So let's see what happens with a bit of rat distortion. And I do have a bit of reverb as well turned on. Missed it. Well, totally as far as clean goes, I like it. As far as distortion goes, still like it. Wish I could play right-handed a lot better, but that's going to come with time, of course, and a lot more practice. I haven't actually touched a right-handed guitar now in probably a week. I've been staying up too late, getting up too early. No motivation to play any guitars, really, to be honest, other than what you've probably seen in the last couple of days with just a couple of short videos. But I think as far as a BC Rich goes, and I've had BC Rich acoustics before, and they honestly sucked. And I never really looked at their electrics, because of the acoustics sucking so bad. But this thing is certainly a really nice machine. It's got a nice lava kind of look going on here with the red. It looks pretty neat. I like that. And I'm not a real fan of red unless it's an SG generally. But it's also got black in here and everything, and looks pretty good. Love the pickup configuration, and these are BC Rich's own pickups as well. It is a licensed Floyd, and it's a weird Floyd, but I love it. I gotta have one. You actually get to set your intonation like a human being on any other guitar you would. This, you get to do it on this one, which is sweet. Although, with that sweetness comes a bit of frustration. You actually need something to, like a little dental pick or something, because this is a string-through system here. And you do have to remove the back cover, not optional, okay? So it's kind of like almost Stratish in one sense, but not in the other. So why put the vent hole? I have no idea, because you can't get at the strings through that hole like you can on a Stratocaster. But anyways, so restringing this was interesting. I just put new strings on it for him today because he wanted a setup done on it, new set of strings, and I got to tell you, this is the nicest Floyd I have ever monkeyed with yet. Other than, like I said, the frustration of getting the string to go through the little eyepiece flapper down below. That's a little tricky, but once you learn how to do it, which took me a couple of seconds to figure it out, I was okay. Because once you string it up and you have the locking nut screws off, you basically tune this thing to like E, A, G, G, B, and E, but you do them about 5 or 10 cents or maybe even a little bit more short, so they don't go right even, because when you squish these things down, they're going to bring the pitch up quite. But it left enough room that I'd actually backed these out probably about halfway, which for these screws, that's a lot of screw for halfway, and it's got a lot more to go yet. You know, I would definitely love these kind of screws even on my Floyd, if nothing else, because longer screws are always better, right? So I'm going to look around for some third-party ones and see, because my Kramer has a licensed Floyd on it as well, so I should be able to get the fine threaded licensed version ones, or even find out about this a little bit more in depth, and maybe I'll just even buy a different Whammy for it, because I like this Floyd. That's right cool. But after initially just doing a basic tune, once these were clamped, I tuned everything up from here. Didn't have to hardly move a lot. Went perfect. I mean, even like the sequencing that you do, you put D and G sharp, a few cents over each, and then you start tuning, you know, E, A to B and so on, and then you go back, check your G and G, see where they're sitting, you go back. There was very little monkeying around with this. I was like really thoroughly impressed with this particular Floyd. This is sweet. BC Rich did an awesome job on this one. So that's actually quite cool. The tuners are not expensive tuners, but they're not overly cheap. But you don't need really expensive tuners on a locking nut system anyways, because by the time you get it tuned up, you lock these down, the strings aren't moving, so who really cares, right? But they are actually pretty decent turning tuners, so quite good. The rest of it's all here anyways. The Whammy system's nice. It is a floater, and I set it up at about 1/8 of an inch clearance, is all it gets, so you can do a little bit of pullback, plus you get your smack down. And also the really nice thing about this is if you do pull back all the way, you have no risk of popping a string out of the bridge like you do on a normal, well, other licensed Floyds and real Floyds, you could actually pop a string out. This is not going to happen because it's strung through and up and over and around, so that's a real nice benefit to this kind of a Floyd. So definitely some kudos there. So anyways, now I don't know what the guitar costs. I don't know if he got it new or used. He didn't tell me what he paid for it. But I don't know, if I was going to give a rough guess on the used market without looking it up, I'd probably say that this thing's probably somewhere around at least maybe $300 on the used market right now. But I could be wrong. It could be worth more. Who knows? I'm not really concerned so much about price, but if you do find any Platinum Series BC Riches like this that have this void. And I'll give you an up close as best as I can here. I don't know how the lighting is going to work out here, but it's actually quite the nice little system here. And there you got the BC Rich and Platinum Series. So I think that other than the fact I'm going to have to clean his switch for him, which is fine, but I like it, and I like the system, you know. Humbucker to single, and then just go, you know, humbucker middle, and then middle neck, and then neck. That's a nice little setup for a lot of variety of tone, and I like the idea. It's only one volume. And one tone control. That's great. It's all any guitar really needs anyhow, but yeah, teach their own, right? So, and the frets are nice for being medium jumbo, so they're pretty good. So anyway, I would rank this, I give a 4.5 out of 5. I really think that this thing is definitely got some build quality to it. There's no buzzing anywhere on it. I've readjusted his heights for him to lower his action more. It was up a little on the high side, so we wanted it lowered. I tried to get it down to about 1.25 on the top and 1 on the bottom, but it kind of doesn't want to go quite that low. So it's a little touch higher, but not by much, but at least no buzzing, which is the main thing. And I was able to lower the action quite a bit regardless, so it's set up pretty decently now. And the neck is still running straight. I was going to adjust the neck, and I thought, well, let me see if I can, you know, get the buzz out first, and this thing is like dead straight, so, and it's working perfect. So the fretwork on this thing is like very, very good too, so no qualms about that at all. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, but that's my opinion on this particular guitar. I gotta go clean his switch now, and then have that ready for him to pick up for tomorrow morning when he comes, and he'll be ready to rock the house again. And the strings, in case you were wondering, were actually Long & McQuade house brand strings. So they just say Long & McQuade on the package, and it's got the little logo thing. They're cheap strings, but they do work really well. And I'm not sure, I can't remember who they told me made their strings, but decent company anyway. But they're inexpensive, so you know, you can use cheaper strings, no big deal. And they actually do sound quite good on this guitar, so that kind of really impressed me. But I've used their acoustic strings before, and I think I've used their electric strings once or twice for the house brand, and they do last for quite a while depending on how much you sweat and how much acid is in your sweat too, you know, how fast they're going to rust out on you. But I think, you know, generally, I mean, for a couple of bucks a pack, I mean, hey, if you can't afford the expensive stuff, look at house brand strings from your local store, whoever it may be, because I think pretty much every music store has a house brand of some sort or another. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You got my opinion, and I say, hey, if you're looking for a nice little axe, something like this, that's definitely a worthwhile buy, I think. Anyway, that's all. See you on the next one. Ciao.